విజయగాథ మనమై రాయాలి సంగతిని మనం మార్చాలి నబడికి ఇక తలాలోచన
இடைவரும் பலவித தடைகளை தகர்த்திங்கு வாழ்ந்து காட்ட வேண்டும். இலக்கிய பெண்மைக்கு இலக்கணம் நீ என யாரும் போற்ற வேண்டும். இடைவரும் பலவித தடைகளை தகர்த்திங்கு வாழ்ந்து காட்ட வேண்டும். இலக்கிய பெண்மைக்கு இலக்கணம் நீ என யாரும் போற்ற வேண்டும். மாதர் தம்மை கேலி பேசும் மூடர் வாயை மூடுவோம். மானம் காக்கும் மாந்தர் யாக்கும் மாலை வாங்கி போடுவோம். மாதர் தம்மை கேலி பேசும் மூடர் வாயை மூடுவோம். மானம் காக்கும் மாந்தர் யாக்கும் மாலை வாங்கி போடுவோம். வீடு காக்கும் பெண்ணை வாழ்த்தி நாடும் ஏடும் பேச வேண்டும். மனதில் உறுதி வேண்டும், வார்த்தையிலே தெளிவும் வேண்டும்.
Distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, good evening one and all. May I now call upon Ms. Christy, CSIR SERC, to take up the podium to present the cultural programs.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Good evening, everyone. It's a day to honor the strength, grace, and determination of women in every sphere of life. And what better way to celebrate than with music and dance? To begin this delightful celebration, we are thrilled to present a beautiful Bharatnatyam performance. Known for its expressive gestures and rhythmic footwork, Bharatnatyam is a timeless celebration of cultural heritage. Please welcome Ms. Porkari as she graces the stage with her impeccable artistry. Thank you.
எத்தனை கோடி இன்பம் வைத்தாய்
a stunning display of elegance and artistry. Ms. Porkuri truly brought the stories of tradition and culture back to life. Thank you so much, Ms. Porkuri. Up next, we have a mesmerizing fusion of Mohiniyattam and Bharatanatyam. Both these classical dance forms beautifully capture the essence of storytelling through graceful movements and expressions. Please welcome Ms. Yuvasri and Ms. Nida Fatima.
Sani dhani sagama maga sani dhani sagama ga sani dhani sagama ga ma ga sani da maga ma dhani sani da maga ma dhani sa ni dhani sa dhani sa dhani sa dhani sa madani 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 dhani sa dhani sa dhani sa Madatni, Madatni, Madanisa, 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 Sanidama, 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 Sanidama. Mama gaga sa sanini sa sanini da da nini sa sanini da da mama gaga sa sanini da da. Nini sa sa sa, nini sa sa sa, mama sa sa sa. கதகளி கண்களில் பார்க்கிறேன் காதல் கதகளி கண்களில் பார்க்கிறேன் திருவோணம் திருவிழா இதயத்தில் பார்க்கிறேன் வாக்கு மரங்களை கழுத்தில் பார்க்கிறேன் மரங்களை கழுத்தில் பார்க்கிறேன் பேசும் ரோஜா உதட்டில் பார்க்கிறேன் சென்னை செந்தமிழ் மறந்தேன் முன்னாலே சென்னை செந்தமிழ் முழுவதும் மறந்தேன் கேரள நாட்டு கிளியே நீ சொல்லு வசியம் வைத்தாயோ சென்னை செந்தமிழ் വെണ്ണിലാവിന്റെ വെണ്ണ തോൽക്കുന്ന പൊൻകിനാവാണു നീ ചന്ദ്രകാന്തങ്ങൾ മിന്നി നിൽക്കുന്ന ചൈത്രരാവാണു നീ മാരോത്സവത്തിൻ മന്ത്രകേളി മന്ദിരത്തിങ്കൽ മഴത്തുള്ളി പൊഴിക്കുന്നു മുകിൽ പക്ഷിയുടെ നടനം തിരനുറയും ചുരുൾമുടിയിൽ സാഗര സൗന്ദര്യം
What an enchanting performance. The blend of elegance and precision was truly captivating. Thank you, Ms. Yuvasri and Ms. Nida. And now it is time to experience the energy and excitement of a fusion dance. Combining contemporary styles with traditional forms, this performance promises to keep you captivated. Please welcome Ms. Shilpa to the stage for a dazzling display of talent.
नधीम धीम तना नधीम धीम तना मधुर प्रेमदा मुदल तल्लना धन्यालिंगना
That was electrifying. The blend of styles was simply outstanding. Thank you, Ms. Shilpa, for that energetic, vibrant performance. Up next, we have a soulful redemption by Ms. Sri Devi, adding a fresh charm to a beloved melody. She's sure to captivate our hearts. Let's welcome Sri Devi to the stage.
மலர்கள் கேட்டேன் வனமே தந்தனை தண்ணீர் கேட்டேன் அமிர்தம் தந்தனை மலர்கள் கேட்டேன் வனமே தந்தனை தண்ணீர் கேட்டேன் அமிர்தம் தந்தனை இதை நான் கேட்பேன் இதை நான் கேட்பின் உனையே தருவாய் இதை நான் கேட்பின் உனையே தருவாய் மலர்கள் கேட்டேன் வனமே தந்தனை தண்ணீர் கேட்டேன் அமிர்தம் தந்தனை மலர்கள் கேட்டேன் மலர்கள் கேட்டேன் மலர்கள் கேட்டேன் மலர்கள் கேட்டேன் இதை நான் கேட்பின் உனையே தருவாய் க க மக மரி மகரி சனி ரீசா பமத மத மகரி சனி ரிசா கம சனி சதனி மத கமரி கசா நிசத நிச நிச மக நிச பம மக கரி சக மக ரினித மம க க மக க க ம ரி க நி ரி நி கரி மகரி ச பமத மனி தனி மத கமரி கச மலர்கள் கேட்டேன் வனமே தந்தனை தண்ணீர் கேட்டேன் அமிர்தம் தந்தனை எனது சொந்தம் நீ எனது பகையும் நீ காதல் மலரும் நீ கருவில் முள்ளும் நீ செல்ல மழையும் நீ சின்ன இடியும் நீ செல்ல மழையும் நீ சின்ன இடியும் நீ பிறந்த உடலும் நீ பிரியும் உயிரும் நீ பிறந்த உடலும் நீ பிரியும் உயிரும் நீ மரணம் என்ற ஜனனம் நீ ஒரு தெய்வம் தந்த பூவே கண்ணில் தேடல் என்ன தாயே நெஞ்சில் ஜில் 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 காதில் தில் 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 கன்னத்தில் முத்தமிட்டாள் நீ கன்னத்தில் முத்தமிட்டாள் நெஞ்சில் ஜில் 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 காதில் தில் 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 கன்னத்தில் முத்தமிட்டாள் நீ கன்னத்தில் முத்தமிட்டாள்.
That was absolutely beautiful. The depth of emotions conveyed through her voice truly resonated with us. Thank you, Ms. Sri Devi. Up next, we have a mesmerizing semi-classical performance by Ms. Tara. Get ready to be captivated by her graceful expressions and elegant movements.
प्रणवालय पाहि
परिपालय परमेशी कमलालय श्रीदेवी कुरिपिंचवे करुणांबुरासी धीम तारा जतुलतो प्राणमे नाट्यं चेसे गतुलतो नामशतं मूल नतुलतो नापैननी चूपु आपेला
मेरे ढोल ना सुन मेरे प्यार की धुन मेरे ढोल ना सुन मेरे ढोल ना सुन मेरे प्यार की धुन मेरे ढोल ना
हे डोला रे
लग जाने दो नजरिया गिर जाने दो बिजुरिया बात के मैं घुंघरू पहन के मैं पायल झूम के नाचूंगी घूम के नाचूंगी डोरा रे डोरा रे डोरा रे डोरा हाय डोरा दिल डोरा मन डोला रे डोरा
നാടിൻ നന്മകനെ പൊന്മകനെ മുത്തായവനെ ഇന്നും സൂര്യനും ചന്ദ്രനും മുന്നായവനെ കാലം കാത്ത് വച്ച രക്ഷകനെ സംഹാരകനെ ഞങ്ങൾ കണ്ണനായി വന്നവനെ ഭയമേ മാറിപ്പോ നീ അണ്ണൻ വന്നാൽ തുമ്പിട്ടുമില്ല ഇരുട്ടിൽ സിറ്റി വാടും രാജാവുക്ക് എല്ലാരും സുല്ല ഇവനെ തൊഴുവാനായി എന്നും ജനത്തിരക്ക് കാലം എടുത്തു വച്ചാൽ സ്വർഗം പോലും മണ്ണപ്പേട്
What an elegant and captivating act, Miss Tara. You were simply splendid. Up next, we have an energetic fusion performance by Miss Megha, blending the vibrant moves of Punjabi Bhangra with the lively flair of Bollywood. Get ready to be amazed and please welcome Miss Megha to the stage. Miss Megha has newly joined as the Assistant Section Officer at CSIR SERC. So CSIR SERC family welcomes you, ma'am.
तू होगी 1 2 2 ओ कुड़िए what to do ओ हो गई मुंडे दी पतंगा वर्गी तू एवें उड़दी ओ हो गई मुंडे दी हिला ते चलदी टुक टुक तू करदी मेकअप तू कर दिया अंग्रेजी पढ़दी किट पिट तू करदी जिम्मे कोई न साडी विक्टोरिया तू कैंटी बिग बैन दी पूरा लंदन ठुमकदा ओ जदों नच पैन दी पूरा लंदन ठुमकदा तू कैंटी बिग बैन दी पूरा लंदन ठुमकदा
That was such a powerful and energetic performance. Ms. Megha truly brought the stage back to life. Women have played an integral role in shaping history, breaking barriers, and paving the way for future generations. From Marie Curie in science, women have played an integral role in shaping history, breaking barriers, and paving the way for future generations. From Marie Curie in science to Rosa Parks in civil rights, from Indira Gandhi in leadership to Serena Williams in sports, women have proven time and again that they are unstoppable forces of change. But even today, challenges remain. Women continue to face gender biases and unequal opportunities and struggles for fair representation in many fields. That is why today is not just a celebration, but also a call to action. We must ensure that equality is not just a dream, but a reality. To all the strong, inspiring women here today, you are powerful, capable, and deserving of every opportunity. Keep striving, keep breaking barriers, and never stop believing in yourselves. And to everyone present, regardless of gender, let us support, uplift, and stand together in this journey toward a more inclusive and equal world. And now the stage is set for a grand performance. With vibrant choreography and synchronized moves, this team of 10 dancers is ready to entertain us. Let us cheer them on and enjoy this lively group dance. Presenting our fabulous performers, Miss Adira, Miss Harshini, Miss Nandini, Miss Nida Fatima, Miss Yuvasri, Miss Vaidehi, Miss Susan, Miss Levita, Miss Anaga Sajid, and Miss Anaga Suresh.
मेरा झुमका उठा के लाया यार वे जोगे दाता बरेली के बाजार में मैं तो ठुमका लगा के शर्मा गई बोली घूम कर बता दे के मैं आ गई मुझको
Naiya, Marudi Bhaiya, and everybody plays it on Radha. Chhede hai humka Naiya, Beri Kanhaiya, and everybody plays it on Radha. Hoga wo lakho dil ka chor, humka to lage bore. Hua hai aise bawla jo kehta jaye.
ओ राधा तेरी चुनरी, ओ राधा तेरा छल्ला, ओ राधा तेरी नटखट नजरिया, ओ राधा तेरा झुमका, ओ राधा तेरा ठुमका, ओ पीछे पीछे सारी नगरिया.
సంగ చక్రం పోలే మనసు సుతర వేళೆ సురాంగినిక మాలకనవా పారవానం துணித்து வைத்தது மேகம் விலகு போகுது சோகம் நீவா கொக்கரக்கோ எவடிய கொக்கரக்கோ இருந்தே இருக்கலாம் நின்னலே கொக்கரக்கோ
हुआ चारों ओर शहनाई शोर, तू मेरी ओर चल निकला, चढ़ी प्रेम लोर और दिल के चोर कर मेरी घोर में मुझे दिखला. या पति तो मिला दिल बंद है तू वाले हमारे दिल की बोर्ड मेरे इन माहे तेरी
குத்துக்கல்ல போறானே குத்துக்கல்ல போயே வந்தானே எதுக்கால பூஜி ஆட்டனா நரமாய் நடந்து வரானே போறப்போதும் ஒரு நொடிதான் இறப்பதும் ஒரு நொடிதான் சொல்லடி அந்த பொண்ணு ரெண்டுக்கும் பாலம் எது
அது புது பூவெடுத்து நிறத்துல நாரெடுத்து அத்தனை பாலம் எது ஆழ்ந்த பாலம் அது
பாதையில முள்ளி இருக்கும் குத்தினா கட்டாதே
விரடிச்சு நின்னா கூட அதுவும் குத்தாது
வழக்காது பூவில கட்டின பாலம் நீ செட்டாகும் தட்டு வச்ச பொண்ணு என்னைக்கு வாழும் வழக்காது பூவில கட்டின பாலம் நீ செட்டாகும் தட்டு வச்ச பொண்ணு என்னைக்கு வாழும்
That was absolutely beautiful. The energy and enthusiasm were truly contagious. Thank you so much, team. And now we have our final act of the day, a spirited group dance by 7 wonderful performers. Presenting our fabulous performers, Miss Chaitra Rajiv, Miss Nishma M, Miss Tara TP, Miss Shreya, Miss Shilpa, Miss Pavitra, and Miss Ramya. They are here to set the stage on fire with their dazzling moves. Please welcome them. And let's cheer them on and enjoy this lively group dance.
मुझसे लेना लगाए मोर श्याम रसे मुझसे नैना लगाए मोर श्याम रसिया मुझसे नैना लगाए मोर श्याम रसिया नैना लगाए मुझसे नैना लगाए मुझसे नैना लगाए मोरी निंदिया लगाए मुझसे नैना लगाए मोर श्याम रसिया मुझसे नैना
मेरा चैन वैन सब उजड़ा, जालिम नजर हटा ले. मेरा चैन वैन सब उजड़ा, जालिम नजर हटा ले. बर्बाद हो रहे हैं जी तेरे अपने शहर वाले. हो मेरी अंगड़ाई ना टूटे तू आजा, मेरी अंगड़ाई ना टूटे तू आजा.
गजरा रे
कजरा रे तेरे कारे कारे नैना कजरा रे तेरे कारे कारे नैना ओ कजरा रे तेरे कारे कारे नैना
लड़के और लड़के कहाँ से आया है रे तू प्यारा है शक्ल से अकल का मारा है रे तू लड़के और लड़के कहाँ से आया है रे तू प्यारा है शक्ल से अकल का मारा है रे तू
हाँ जल गई मेरी बातों से तू जल गई हाँ खल गई तुझे खल गई मेरी बेपरवाही खल गई मोहतरमा तू किस खेत की मूली है जरा बता
टीवी पे ब्रेकिंग न्यूज हर मेरा घाघरा है बगदाद से लेके दिल्ली आगरा
దాని కూడి భుజం మీద కడవా దాని గుత్తపు రైకలు మెరియా అది రమ్మంటనా తెరసెలియా దాని పేరే సరంగ దరియా దాని ఎడం భుజం మీద కడవా దాని ఎజెంటు రైకలు మెరియా అది రమ్మంటనా తెరసెలియా దాని పేరే సరంగ దరియా
Okay, boss. Now let's listen to the rhythm of Chennai.
What a spectacular performance. That was truly a treat to watch. A heartfelt thank you to all the performers for making this celebration so memorable. As we continue our celebration of Women's Day, we have something truly special lined up. Up next is a mesmerizing AI-generated video crafted with beautiful music representing the rich diversity of languages in our country. This video serves as a tribute to the strength, resilience, and beauty of women from all walks of life. Let us sit back, relax, and enjoy this wonderful visual experience that celebrates the essence of womanhood. Presenting the AI video, a harmonious blend of technology, art, and culture.
இடைவரும் பலவித தடைகளை தகர்த்திங்கு வாழ்ந்து காட்ட வேண்டும் இலக்கிய பெண்மைக்கு இலக்கணம் நீ என யாரும் போற்ற வேண்டும் இடைவரும் பலவித தடைகளை தகர்த்திங்கு வாழ்ந்து காட்ட வேண்டும் இலக்கிய பெண்மைக்கு இலக்கணம் நீ என யாரும் போற்ற வேண்டும் மாதர் தம்மை கேலி பேசும் மூடர் வாயை மூடுவோம் மானம் காக்கும் மாந்தர் யாக்கும் மாலை வாங்கி போடுவோம் மாதர் தம்மை கேலி பேசும் மூடர் வாயை மூடுவோம் மானம் காக்கும் மாந்தர் யாக்கும் மாலை வாங்கி போடுவோம் வீடு காக்கும் பெண்ணை வாழ்த்தி நாடும் ஏடும் பேச வேண்டும் மனதில் உறுதி வேண்டும் வார்த்தையிலே தெளிவும் வேண்டும் மனதில் உறுதி வேண்டும் மனதில் உறுதி வேண்டும் சமைக்கின்ற கரங்களும் சரித்திரம் படைப்பதை பூமி பார்க்க வேண்டும் தூரத்து தேசத்தில் பாரத பெண்மையின் பாடல் கேட்க வேண்டும் சமைக்கின்ற கரங்களும் சரித்திரம் படைப்பதை பூமி பார்க்க வேண்டும் தூரத்து தேசத்தில் பாரத பெண்மையின் பாடல் கேட்க வேண்டும் பெண்கள் கூட்டம் பேய்கள் என்று பாடல் சொன்ன சித்தர்களும் ஈன்ற தாயும் பெண்மை என்று எண்ணிடாத பித்தர்களே பெண்கள் கூட்டம் பேய்கள் என்று பாடல் சொன்ன சித்தர்களும் ஈன்ற தாயும் பெண்மை என்று எண்ணிடாத பித்தர்களே பேசினாலும் பேசினாலும் அஞ்சிடாமல் வாழ வேண்டும் மனதில் உறுதி வேண்டும் வார்த்தையிலே தெளிவும் வேண்டும்
జయగాధ మనమయరాయాలి సంగతిని మనం మార్చాలి నబడికి ఇక తలాలోచన காற்றில் ஏறும் எங்கள் சத்தம் காலம் வரை நீங்காதே அடிமை கதைகள் சிதறிடலாம் நம் காலங்கள் பயணிக்குமே
May I now invite the dignitaries to occupy the dais. Thank you. We shall start the event with an invocation. Kindly rise up.
நீராறும் கடலுடுத்த நிலமடந்தை கெழிலொழுகும் சீராறும் வதனமென திகழ்வரத கண்டமிதில் எக்கணமும் அதில் சிறந்த திராவிடனல் திருநாடும் தக்க சிறு இறை நுதலும் தரித்தனரும் திலகமுமே திலக வாசனை போல் அனைத்துலகும் இன்பமுற எத்திசையும் புகழ் மணக்க இருந்த பெரும் தமிழனங்கே தமிழனங்கே உன் சீரிழமை திறம் வியந்து செயல் மறந்து வாழ்த்துதுமே வாழ்த்துதுமே வாழ்த்துதுமே.
Thank you. It is with great joy and pride that I stand before you today to honor the incredible strength, resilience, and achievements of women from all walks of life. A heartfelt welcome to all the dignitaries, esteemed guests, and every one of you who has gathered here to be a part of this meaningful event. Your presence makes this celebration even more special. Happy Women's Day. International Women's Day embraces the theme Accelerate Action, urging us to move from awareness to tangible change. It is not just about creating or celebrating women's achievements. It's about consciously creating an inclusive culture that empowers everyone to thrive. Aligned with the United Nations theme for all women and girls, rights, equality, empowerment, the focus is on unlocking equal rights and opportunities for all. In order to achieve equality for all, we need to accelerate action. Now, may I invite the dignitaries to light the lamp and inaugurate the International Women's Day celebration. Thank you. It's a great, exquisite delight in greeting our honored guest with a shawl. May I request Dr. N. Ananthavalli, Director CSIR SERC and Quantitative Director CMC, to felicitate the Chief Guest, Dr. Purnima Jalihal, Scientist G, Head of Energy and Freshwater Group, National Institute of Ocean Technology, with a shawl. Thank you, ma'am. May I request Dr. N. Ananthavalli, Director CSIR SERC and Coordinating Director CMC, to felicitate the Chief Guest, Srimati Hema Chandrasekhar, Senior Vice President, Asia Pacific Regional Chief Technology Officer, Northern Trust Corporation, with a shawl. Thank you, ma'am. Without further ado, may I request Dr. N. Ananthavalli, Director CSIR SERC and Coordinating Director CMC, to deliver the welcome address.
அனைவருக்கும் வணக்கம், நமஸ்கார். Happy Women's Day to all, including my male colleagues over here, for supporting us always. So, first of all, for all of us, mother will be the inspiration. So, the first talk after we enter into the world will be with our mother. So, as we see, mother, அம்மான்னு சொன்னாக்க ஃபஸ்ட்டு நம்மளுக்கு எல்லாருக்கும் நினைவுக்கு வர்றது வந்து சமையல்ன்றது வந்து ஈஸின்னு நினச்சிக்குவீங்க. பட் அதுக்கு எவ்வளவு அவங்க பிரயத்னப்படணும், எவ்வளோ விஷயங்கள் இருக்குது. அவங்க ஒரு கெமிஸ்ட். ஏன்னா எவ்வளோ இதில் வந்து நம்ம பொருட்கள் எல்லாம் இருந்தாலும் அந்த பொருட்களை கொண்டு சுவைமிக்க சமையலை செய்யணுன்றது வந்து ஒரு கலை. அது வந்து அவங்களுக்கு வீட்டில் 4 பேர் இருந்தாலும் சமைக்க தெரியும், 40 பேர் இருந்தாலும் சமைக்க தெரியும். அது வந்து அவங்களுக்கு அந்த இன்பார்ன், நம்ம நிறைய விமனுக்கு அது இன்பார்ன்னு. ஸோ நம்ம அதில் பார்த்திங்கன்னா கெமிஸ்ட்ரி இருக்குது, ஃபிசிக்ஸ் இருக்குது, சயின்ஸ், பேசிக்காக எல்லா விஷயமும் நம்மளை அறியாமலே அதில் நம்ம கற்றுக்குறோம். ஒரு விஷயத்தை கோஆர்டினேட் பண்ணி செய்யணும், ஒரு வீட்டை அழகாக வச்சுக்கணும், இதெல்லாம் வந்து பார்த்தா சிம்பிளாக தெரியும். பட் அதுக்கு அவங்க எவ்வளவு நேரம் ஒதுக்குறாங்கன்னு தெரியும். அதை மீறி நம்மளோட தேவைகளையும் வந்து அம்மா தான் ஃபஸ்ட்டு நிறைவேற்றுறாங்க. நம்மளுக்கு ஒரு என்ன ஒரு ஸ்கூல் போயிட்டு வந்தோன்னா ஒரு இஷ்யூ இருக்குது, ஒரு சொல்லணுன்னா அம்மா கிட்ட தான் போவோம். இன்னும் நான் நினைக்கிறேன் என்னோடய மேல் கொலீக்ஸும் அப்படி தான் இருப்பாங்க. ஃபஸ்ட்டு அம்மா கிட்ட தான் போய் நம்மளோட புலம்பல்கள் எல்லாத்தையும் சொல்கிறதுக்கு அம்மா ஒருத்தவங்க தான் காது கொடுத்து கேட்பாங்க முதல்ல. அப்பா வந்து ஓகே கேட்கலாம் சில பேர் வீட்டில், பட் மோஸ்ட்லி அம்மா தான் கேட்பாங்க. ஸோ ஆறுதல் சொல்கிறதும் அவங்களா தான் இருக்கும். அப்படிப்பட்ட அம்மாவை வந்து நம்ம சில சமயங்களில் மறந்துடுறோம். அந்த விமென்ஸ் டே அன்றைக்கி மட்டும் இல்லை மதர்ஸ் டே அன்றைக்கி மட்டும் நினைவு இல்லாமல் என்றைக்குமே நம்ம நினச்சிக்கணும் நம்ம அம்மாவை பற்றி. அந்த மாதிரி ஏன் விமென்ஸ் டே, வை வி ஹவ் டு செலிப்ரேட் விமென்ஸ் டே பேசிக்கலி ஃபர்ஸ்ட் வந்து ஒன்று வந்து ஷோகேசிங் தி அச்சீவ்மெண்ட்ஸ் ஆஃப் விமென் ஆஸ் வி ஹவ் சீன் ஃப்ரம் தி ஸ்லைட்ஸ். அது மட்டும்தானா? இல்லை, அதுக்கும் மேலேயும் இருக்குது. ஏன்னா ஒரு ஈக்குவல் பார்ட்டிசிபேஷன், ஏன்னா ஆணும் பெண்ணும் ஒரு காம்ப்ளிமெண்ட்ரி, இட்ஸ் நாட் ஒருத்தருக்கு ஒருத்தர் போட்டி கிடையாது. காம்ப்ளிமெண்ட்ரியாக இருக்கும்போது 2 பேரும் வளர்ச்சி அடையும் போது தான் இந்த ஓவரால் வளர்ச்சி இருக்க முடியும். அது மாதிரி நெக்ஸ்ட் ஜெனரேஷனுக்கு இருக்கிறவங்களுக்கு ஊக்கமாக இருக்கணும். அந்த மாதிரி விஷயங்கள்லாம் நம்ம எடுத்துகிட்டு போகிறதுக்காக தான் நம்ம வந்து இந்த விமென்ஸ் டேயை செலிப்ரேட் பண்ணுறோம். பார்ட்டிசிபேஷன் அகெயின் பார்த்திங்கன்னா இப்போ நம்ம எஸ்சிஆர்சி பொறுத்த வரைக்கும் சயின்டிஸ்ட், விமன் சயின்டிஸ்டில் அரௌண்ட் 20 to 25% ஆஃப் மை scientists are women. So even though it's not equal, but we are nearly moving towards that. அந்த மாதிரி எல்லா இடங்கள்லையும் அந்த ஈக்குவல் பார்ட்டிசிபேஷன் இருக்கணுங்கிற ஜெண்டர் ஈக்வாலிட்டி டுவர்ட்ஸ் தட் we are moving. That is one reason which we keep on doing this Women's Day, even though it started long years ago. Still why we insist on celebrating this is to bring a gender equality, which whether we will be seeing in our lifetime, it's a question. And this year's theme is accelerate action. That is why we have to accelerate this action. I'll tell you what are all why we need to accelerate this action. So if you see, we always Women's Day na achievers உங்களை பற்றி லிஸ்ட் பண்ணுவோம். பட் நிறைய அறியப்படாத அச்சீவர்ஸ் நிறைய இருப்பாங்க. அந்த லிஸ்ட்டில் நான் ஒரு சிம்பிள் எக்ஸாம்பிள் சொல்கிறேன். பத்மஸ்ரீ திம்மக்கா அம்மா, இவங்க வந்து without any effort or without any conscious effort and thought, she has planted 8,000 trees, which is a very great achievement in her life. அப்புறம் she is only at daily wages. ஸோ அந்த மாதிரி இருக்கிறவங்க வந்து ordinary women who is doing extraordinary work. We should also remember those people, we should also celebrate those people. அந்த மாதிரி நம்ம வெளியில் போய் பார்க்கணுன்னு அவசியம் இல்லை. நம்ம கூட இருக்கிறவங்களே நிறைய பேர் அந்த மாதிரி நிறைய சேலஞ்சஸ் கடந்து ஒரு லைஃப்பில் இருப்பாங்க. அவங்க எல்லோரையும் நம்ம அப்ரிஷியேட் பண்ணணும். அப்ரிஷியேட் பண்ணும்போது we'll also feel happy, they will also feel happy. And as we see, number of women have taken unconventional path, and they have been pioneers in many of the things and has set the trend or the path for us to follow. To name a few, first women engineer லலிதான்றவங்க, அவங்க இந்த காலேஜ் ஆஃப் இன்ஜினியரிங் கிண்டி இந்த சிட்டிலேயே அவங்க இந்தியாவோட ஃபர்ஸ்ட் விமன் இன்ஜினியர். அண்ட் விமன் டாக்டர் வெஸ்டர்ன் மெடிசனில் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா டாக்டர் ஆனந்திபாய் ஜோஷி, who went to US to study this in the year 1888, that range. So you imagine those days women cannot even come out of the house, so she has gone to US to study this. And the first IAS, women IAS is Anna Rajam Malhotra in the year 1951. So, and first IPS officer, as we all know, is Kiran Bedi in 1972. And the list goes on. Adile ipo science sambandhama paatha Dr. Chandra, first female mining engineer from our own CSIR firm. And she had a lot of challenges because of she to be recognized as a mining engineer. And also first women fellow of Royal Society is Gangdeep Kong. And Chandrima Saha, Dr. Chandrima Saha is the first women president of INSA. All these were usually males will be there and they have to make their impact. And our own beloved DG, Dr. Kalai Selvi was the first women Director General of CSIR, the largest research and development body of this country. And so they have all laid the foundation, and it is our responsibility that we'll make the flag fly high. And in spite of this, all these achievements we are seeing, in spite of this, still the gender parity, we have a long way to go there for that. What is required for that is first is the passion. So once you have the passion to do something, keep it always alive. And persistence, that is where sometimes we fail, like after some efforts, we see that we are losing, and persistence is always required to achieve. And patience. So time will come when we'll be recognized. So that patience is also required. It's not all magic. All these people who have done, made their impact in their life, is not just a magic, because all these have all the piece like passion, persistence, and patience, because of which they have made this impact. And work-life balance, that is another thing which the women find it very difficult, because they have to have both the looking after the family as well as the work. So this also, when we plan properly, it's easy to handle. And we have to set our expectations always clear. So what is our expectation? If we are clear, then I think we'll know the path to do it. And we should always be open for discussion and take the criticism in the right spirit. And also lead with confidence. This is not only for the women, but also for the men. I think all these things are required. And with this, I think I would like to welcome two of our chief guests over here, two eminent women who have made their impact in their own fields. And Dr. Purnima from NIOT is a well-known personality and a good friend of SERC. And they will be reading out the biography of her, which is very inspiring. And she heads the energy and freshwater group. As we can see, she's an energetic. It's appropriate that she's leading the energy group, and also which is essential, both these energy as well as freshwater is essential for all of us. And she also works on harnessing energy from waves, ocean thermal gradient, all these are some of the technological development from her. And she's the vice chair of the Energy Council of Ocean Engineering Energy System Technology Collaborative Program under the International Energy Agency. And the other speaker, our guest, chief guest is Srimati Hema Chandrasekhar, who is the Senior Vice President at Northern Trust Corporation, Chicago, and she has 30 years of experience, IT experience, and delivering a lot of technological solutions, mainly in the banking sector. And she's also, as I understand, a member of NASCAM. So that is a great recognition one can have in the IT field. And we are fortunate enough, and we are eager to hear from both of you. And I thank both of you for taking time of their busy schedule. I think Madam is having a lot of other commitments as she's approaching her retirement next week. And also Dr. Hema, she's traveling tomorrow early morning, I think. In spite of that, she agreed to come. I thank both of them. Thank you. And welcome you all once again to the program. And I would like to thank Dr. Kamakshi and her team. They have done an excellent work, and I think she'll be presenting the activities, various activities which has been done in connection with the International Women's Day. And I appreciate all the participation, and also from each one of you. It's an inclusive, as we can see from the pictures, it's an inclusive celebration, taking everyone on board. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for the warm welcome. To give us an overview of the events and highlights of this special occasion, may I now invite Dr. P. Kamachi, Chief Scientist, CSIR SERC, to present the report on Women's Day celebration.
respected Professor Dr. Anandvalli, Director, CSIR, SERC and Coordinating Director, CSIR, CMC. Our Honorable Chief Guest, Dr. Purnima Jalihal, Scientist G, Head of Energy and Freshwater Group, NIOT, and Srimati Hema Chandrasekhar, Senior Vice President, Asia Pacific Region, Chief Technology Officer, Northern Trust Corporation. Dr. S. Parivallal, Advisor Management, Special Invitees for today's function, IWT committee members on the dais and off the dais, my dear colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, good evening to all of you. In this pleasant evening, I am happy to present the report on the events held as a part of International Women's Day celebrations 2025. At the outset, I would like to thank our director and advisor management for giving us not only the opportunity, but also the extended support to organize activities related to International Women's Day. As indicated in our CSIR notification, theme of this year's International Women's Day is for all women and girls, rights, equality, empowerment, which calls for action that can unlock equal rights, power, and opportunities for all. In association with Fit India mission, it has been stated in CSIR notification that to actively involve women in a series of activities which can drive them towards physical fitness, mental well-being, health, nutrition, and social inclusion to achieve the goal of stronger her, healthier future. As a first step towards creation of awareness on doing exercise for half an hour every day for physical fitness, display posters have been prepared in trilingual mode and distributed to all the division. Poster design was done by Dr. Mohit Verma. Our director, she has added the Tamil slogan, which is printed on that, and added beauty to the poster. Yoga along with meditation program was arranged for all men and women on 11/3/2025 with a young yoga trainer, Ms. Vanati. Yoga program started with Fit India pledge, and the program was well received by the staff and students of CSIR, SERC and CMC. On the same day, we had a very interesting talk on diet and nutrition by Ms. Tangamani from Dr. Mohan's Diabetes Center. Lots of interactions and discussions were there during her talk. On 12th March 2025, Games event was organized for all women in the CSIR, SERC and CMC campus. The group game events was named as She Shines. On-spot team formation was done from the enthusiastic participants who turned up on 12th morning. A total of 130 wonderful women were randomly shuffled and split into 13 groups. Each group consisted of 10 team members. 7 games were designed to test the true team spirit. First 5 games were tested the courage and determination despite difficulty of the players in a mere 60 seconds. This was followed by memory game, which re-emphasized the sharp minds of the strong ladies. The final fun game, aptly called Human Snake, tested the coordination and communication skills of women in a team. From the cumulative total of all the above team games, 3 prize-winning teams and 2 consolation prize-winning teams were selected. The next event, Rangoli, was held on 17/3/2025 in 2 categories, general and team-based with a theme of Women of 2050. In this event, total of 23 teams, each comprising of 4 to 6 members, registered and participated. We saw 23 beautiful rangolis on 17th forenoon. In the given 2 hours of time and 11 color powders, 9 teams expressed their colors in general category and 14 teams expressed their vision in theme-based category. The rangolis were judged by 3 judges independently through blind marking system, and their cumulative marks led to 3 winners in each category. Because the rangolis were so beautiful, they could not help themselves and selected 2 consolation prizes in theme category and 1 consolation prize in general category. The tireless efforts of Dr. C. Bharatipriya, Dr. Kirtana, Ms. Sonia, Ms. Mercy Leta, Dr. Ajita, Ms. Sridevi, and Ms. Catherine in organizing game events with tremendous support of staff members of A-Star is highly acknowledged. Today afternoon, we had a very colorful cultural program by our students and staff. Cultural program consists of 7 fusion dance events and 1 solo song, from conventional Bharatanatyam, Punjabi Bhangra, Mohiniyattam to modern dance styles. The program showcased a beautiful blend of classical contemporary dances along with a soulful musical rendition, captivating the audience with graceful expressions and energetic movements. A special presentation featuring inspiring women from India, including icons like P.V. Sindhu, added a thoughtful touch, celebrating the remarkable achievements. Each performance reflected the strength, resilience, and joy of women, making the celebration truly special. The contributions by Srimati Vijayalakshmi, Dr. Kalpana, Ms. Vasumati, Dr. Ashanair, and others towards arrangement of cultural events is highly appreciable. The International Women's Day celebrations culminate with today's function. Help rendered by Sri P. Vasudevan, Sri R.D. Satish Kumar, Dr. Sendil Kumar, Balakishan Rajkumar, and many others, I am not naming everyone, are highly acknowledged. We thank the staff of Administration, Finance, Purchase, ICT, BKMD for helping us in all arrangements. We thank scientists in charge, infra heads and heads of division for deputing women staff students for the committee and other activities. We once again express our gratitude for the support, guidance provided by our director, Dr. N. Anandavalli, at every stage, which has paved the way for the successful conduct of this Women's Day celebration. Thanking you all. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Now I call upon Dr. Ajita Kumari, Senior Scientist, CSIR NML, CMC, to introduce the chief guest.
Good evening to all. Very happy wishes for International Women's Day. This year's International Women's Day campaign theme is Accelerate Action, and it gives me immense pleasure to introduce chief guest for today's function, Dr. Purnima Jalihal. She is Scientist G, Head of Energy and Freshwater Group in National Institute of Ocean Technology, Government of India. Dr. Purnima Jalihal is a senior scientist who heads the Energy and Freshwater Group in NIOT, India. She has led device developments for harnessing ocean energy from waves, marine currents, and ocean thermal gradient, that is OTEC, and has played a major role in developing the ocean thermal desalination technology. She has a PhD in civil engineering from Duke University, USA. She was awarded the Vishwakarma Medal in 2006 by the Indian National Science Academy for her contribution to cold water pipeline for first ever LTTD plant in Kavaratti in Lakshadweep, and the Uhera Prize for 2019 by the International OTEC community for contribution to the development of OTEC. She is also on many committees of Indian government organizations related to water and renewable energy, and is the EU-led Clean Energy Mission Innovation Champion for India 2020. She was facilitated in Women Behind the Changing Chennai Scenario, Future Female Forward event, directed by CNBC TV 18 in July 2023. She is currently the Vice Chair of Executive Committee of the Ocean Energy Systems Technology Collaboration Program, that is OES TCP, under the International Energy Agency. She has been instrumental in making India a P member of the IEC TC 114 for marine energy, and is the chair of the BIS Mirror Committee ETD 54. Let's all please welcome Dr. Purnima Jalihal Madam for International Women's Day lecture today.
A very good evening, Director Dr. Anandvalli, the other chief guest, Dr. Hema Chandrasekhar, and the other ladies, Ajita and other ladies, and all the people gathered here today. I would say belated Happy Women's Day. But of course, better late than never. There's only one thing Dr. Anandvalli, I think, slightly missed on her talk on how homemakers and mothers do whatever. So I'd like to add to that. Homemakers and all of us also do, which is relevant to all CSIR labs and R&D labs like ours. We also do stores and purchase, procurement, we do planning, and we also do accounts. So only good thing, the advantage that homemakers have is they don't have to go through GEM, okay? So we are unfortunate in that. Nevertheless, that is an aside. So what I thought is, first of all, thank you very much to Dr. Anandvalli to kind of bring me here, and sort of, I feel happy because I'm actually superannuating next week. And SERC has been like something that I've, come to so often initially. In fact, I was telling Ajita that it was like a toss of a coin. I might have been in SERC today, but it was a choice between SERC and NIOT, and whatever it is, I mean, I went there. Actually, the directors in those days were like quite insistent on bringing me here, but somehow I chose that. I don't know whether it was good or bad, but nevertheless, so what I thought I'll do today is like, I mean, so I have been subsequently coming to SERC many times, possibly in every director's regime for something or the other, and we have been associated. Today what I'll do is, because this is SERC, and it's not just an organization where you wouldn't understand what big R&D projects are about. So I'll divide, I have about 10 to 15 minutes is what Madam said. So I'll just talk on two things. The first part is I'd like to tell you what we have been doing in the energy and water thing, so that you will, I mean, you will understand the challenges and complexities in this institute at least. And then later, just a few slides on me doing that and what is my take on being a woman scientist in today's times. So basically, of course, sometimes we don't know our own neighbors. And if you don't know us, we are the only ocean technology institute in the entire country. We are not to be confused with NIO, which is in Goa. That is your sister in the CSIR. We are probably not, we are probably a cousin sister, but the thing is that we are engineers and NIO are scientists, so there's a big difference. We are the technology developers and they are the scientists who do oceanography. So in NIOT, actually, we have three large core areas. One is energy and water, which I've been heading for the past 2 decades. And one is the deep sea technologies. You would have heard in many newspaper reports, it's in the limelight right now. The Samudrayan project, where we will be sending 3 people down to 6,000 meters water depth. And that is being developed for the first time in India. And then there's a coastal engineering group, and we do a lot of work on shore protection and shoreline management. We have smaller groups for electronics, acoustics, and sensors and things like that. We also have a small biotechnology group, and we have our own vessels. One of them is DP Class 2, which also has gone to the poles, and these are used for all our technology developments. We also look after the Ocean Observations Program, which is a set of buoys in the shallow and deep waters. This data comes directly through satellite to NIOT. It is then given to our sister institute in Hyderabad called Invocation. The modeling happens there, and then finally, any help in weather prediction models after it is done, the IMD then, which is also our sister institute, disseminates the information, whether it's forecast or hindcast. And we also have a tsunami warning center, which is in Invocation, but the tsunami buoys are actually being developed at NIOT for indigenization, and we also look after the tsunami buoys. So this is in a nutshell the kind of things we do. But as far as why we do what we do, why is energy and water relevant to ocean technology? First of all, this is a standard slide. All of you will be knowing this, but we have a very long coastline, over 7,500 kilometers. And the green hashed area is what we call the exclusive economic zone, and that is a very large area for us. One thing is because we are a big country. Second thing is we are blessed with a group of islands in the Arabian Sea and the Bay of Bengal, which makes the EEZ much larger than many countries. And most of the large population, 30% of the population lives on the coast, and there is a dearth of energy and water both in the coastal areas. And so actually utilizing ocean in a sustainable manner makes sense for us. Now, actually, our ministry is also spearheading the blue economy policy. Our ministry is the Ministry of Earth Sciences. And under this, if you look at the Indian scenario, there are a lot of things nowadays, everything which is a buzzword starts taking off. Blue economy everywhere is being talked about, but energy, water, food, and minerals, these are what are the larger components of, which can lead to blue economy. So we normally distinguish, SERC is working on offshore wind. But offshore wind and floating solar, though they are also now the new forms being studied, we don't consider them as ocean energy because the motive force there is not really water. So wave, tidal, thermal gradient, salinity gradient, and biofuel, these are the ones which come under the arena of ocean energy. And of course, we talk about desalination and minerals. But I'll focus on energy and water today. So these are pictures. This is actually a picture of Chennai only when we had that massive water shortage a few years ago. And then, of course, we know why we need renewable energy. I won't go into all these things. These are all standard stuff, and all of you know it. I mean, we know climate change, we know greenhouse gas emissions, we know why we need to do renewables and things like that. But why the slide is important is that people still think, I mean, yes, we are still working on coal, and India needs to go with coal because we need energy in any way. We don't need to, look at right now, I mean, we have to make energy because we are growing, being the 5th largest economy, moving slowly to be the 3rd. So we need forms of energy, as many as possible, and preferably they should be sustainable. So while MNRE is doing a lot of effort on, making solar and wind in a large way, there are these fixed projects of 100 gigawatt, 160 gigawatt, all these things and objectives have been set, and they're trying hard to meet those. Still, we need to go to the ocean. One thing is because it's available to us, and second thing is every watt is mattering today, and therefore any form of energy that we can make which is renewable matters. So with all the promises we have been making in COP28 and starting from COP26, going so much percent green, going 40% green by 2040, so much, all those objectives will be delivered only if you look at renewable forms from every possible manner. We also need to understand in this group, you may not be aware that the ocean has got a peculiar thing which we can use, and that is that the surface temperatures are high, but as you go deeper and deeper, it gets colder and colder. And this difference in temperature, or the temperature gradient, can be used to also generate energy, and I'll talk about that in a little bit. So these are the 3 forms that right now we have been working very seriously on in NIOT: wave energy, currents, and ocean thermal energy, which I talked about the thermal gradient. This is the only plant in the world which, when I took over this plant in 2003, this was the only working wave energy plant for a long time. We actually inherited it from IIT Madras. It was also funded by our Department of Ocean Development itself, our own ministry. But we finally, when NIOT was formed, this came to our institute. And then later when I joined the institute, and in 2003, what we did is, there was power being generated, one of the few working wave energy plants in the world. So I connected a reverse osmosis plant, and this was the first plant where everything was coming from the seawater. The energy was coming from the seawater, and that was also driving the RO plant to make fresh water from seawater. So this was quite a success, and it was actually giving the fishing community in the Vizhinjam harbor water for some time. But then, of course, priorities changed. The ministry said our job is not to distribute water, so get into different kinds of areas. It was no longer on priority. So we also moved parallelly along with the desalination became an important thing. I'll tell you why. We also, though, continued work on wave energy in the form of floating devices, because, see, my mantra has been, and this is oft quoted nowadays, watt to megawatt. See, there's no point in saying we only need gigawatts of power. That doesn't happen when you're trying to do renewables from day one, okay? And today, every watt matters in India. So off-grid small devices have as much value as a large megawatt range plant, which is going to service a small community. So to this end, we have been working on floating wave energy devices. This is one of the devices called backward bend ducted buoy. But what is relevant in today, the last couple of years, is this wave-powered navigational buoy. See, every port needs navigational buoys because there is a channel through which the ships enter, the breakwater. Till recently, all these buoys were imported, and they were using solar panels. we in NIOT, what we did is we mimicked the same shape that the ports have, but we have incorporated a wave energy module in it. So the power for the beacon lamp comes from wave energy. At the same time, we are making much more power than is really required for the lamp. So what we have done is we have incorporated wind sensors and current sensors, because what the ports really need, there's always a large spatial kind of distributed data available through models, but localized data is never available at any port. So they need data for currents when the ships are actually entering the harbor. So this is giving them that in the mobile now, and so we've used it in we demonstrated actually in Ennur port for a long time. Then they were very happy with its performance, so they made it their main first buoy in the channel. And now they have paid us to make another buoy that was released yesterday by Dr. Saraswat when he came to NIOT. In the last 2 days, we had a workshop. And this is, actually the technology has been transferred to industry. And now with DG Shipping's intervention, many ports have approached us, and I think hopefully in the near future, this buoy will be the main buoy in all the ports in India. The other thing that we did was, there is tidal streams, or the water velocity that you have as currents. This can be harnessed to make power, and these are called hydrokinetic turbines. This we made at Andaman, and we have demonstrated, and we have designs of 1 to 5 kilowatt readily available. Now you will say, what is 5 kilowatts? But I did that because the forest secretary at that time, when I met him, he said, I don't know how many of you know Hindi, but anyway, he said, 1 to 5 kilowatt units is what, if you give me, I'll be very happy. See, there are a lot of small forest outposts in Nicobar and Andaman, the small islands, where 2 security fellows will be sitting in a hut with neither power nor water. So this is what they have really requested. So this 5 kilowatt design has been done specifically from the Andaman requirement, and we have signed an MOU now, and soon this also will be, hopefully we'll be putting up in, these units we'll try to put in Andaman now. Then we come to OTEC, the Ocean Thermal Energy Conversion. Long ago, it was premature of the secretary and the people at the top at that time to take up such a huge program of 1 megawatt floating barge mounted OTEC with a 1 kilometer pipeline. This was the first thing for which I was hired actually in NIOT, and that is that pipeline. We made the pipeline and everything, but there was no marine infrastructure at all to handle the pipeline, okay? So the designs were ready, everything was ready, but we could not complete the project because we did not have a suitable vessel to actually handle the pipeline, even though it was towed. You can see the bottom picture, we even towed the pipeline, this was off Tuticorin, but it could not be deployed and connected to the vessel because of the lack of proper handling equipment. So this aborted the OTEC project, but as you know, in the Indian government, we have several committees, and through a lot of wisdom and discussions, what was decided is we don't have the infrastructure for long and large diameter pipelines, so let us do with smaller diameter and smaller pipelines. This led to the desalination program, and where we thought we'll first play with smaller diameter pipelines to learn, and that way develop the infrastructure required to handle pipelines in this country. Because in those days, high density polyethylene pipelines were not even available in India. We have this particular pipeline which I have shown in this picture was actually imported partly from Thailand and partly from Malaysia. Today, India makes high density polyethylene pipelines of as much as diameter as 2.5 meters. So we have come a long way, we have become completely indigenous in that, but in those days it was not available. So then it was decided to attempt this in the island of Kavaratti in the Lakshadweep group. And these are small islands. This is the largest population, about 10,000 people. The total length of the island is only 7 kilometers. I travel 15 kilometers to office every day. So you can see the difference. So they're very, very small islands, okay? Very pristine, made of coral, and there's absolutely no water because the groundwater is completely, polluted with calcite and sewage, because it's such a small island, the sewage has to go right there. So it's very, very polluted. So we put up the first thermal desalination plant in Kavaratti. This is what it looks like. That was 20 years ago. I'm very proud of this plant and project because 20 years it has supplied water to the island. Okay, thank you. So as civil engineers and SERC is concerned, I would think this will be of interest to you. So you can see the two double lines. That is a cold water pipeline going from the shallow sump to bottom to about 300 meters. Now, when I first made this design, I have actually faced a lot of committees. There were people who actually said lots of bad things to my face when I presented because my design had 8 tons at the bottom and just 3 tons at the top where it was connected to the sump. Now, if you design this as an outfall pipe in a normal outfall context today from RO plants or from sewage outfalls, this should have actually had, if you go that way, in that same way and you design it, it would have been 900 tons, okay, to withstand the wave loads. But what we did in this is that high density polyethylene has got a specific gravity of 0.95, so it naturally floats in water. So instead of forcing it to sit, we let it float. In the sense like it's an inverted catenary and it's held down only at 2 places. And I'm very happy that my design has withstood for 20 years and still pumping cold water from the bottom. And this is, thank you. So this is the tribute to all civil engineers here that we can do big things and do difficult things. So we did this and that is a crane barge that was used. So when we deployed this successfully, we got more confidence that now we can handle smaller pipes, at least in India, with the infrastructure that is available. And the best part of this whole project is it has had such a tremendous societal impact. The health of the people changed. They became healthier because of, all the salt-related ailments were actually started. We sent Ramchandra Medical College actually to take a statistic, and they came out with great numbers. So the women there came, the language problem, of course, but the first thing they told me is, we never knew that chaya tastes good like this. Because they've always had tea with salt water, And when they had this tea, it was like, it was like a revelation to them that tea can taste so wonderful. So we have touched their lives up to, that level, which is, I guess as an engineer, you go home satisfied that you did something for somebody, right? So that definitely, this gives us a lot of satisfaction. And the biggest satisfaction is, I was the only woman there roaming around all day for a year in the island. And recently when I went there for this other project after a long time, some youngish man, 31, 32 years old, he came up to me and said, "Hello, madam." So of course, there are a lot of junior engineers and all I deal with, and it couldn't place him. I said, "Which department are you in?" He said, "I'm not in any department. I'm just a resident here. I have my own work and business." So I said, "Well, I'm sorry, I don't know you." Then he said, "You will never know me." "Why?" "Madam, I was a 10-year-old boy when you did this project, and I used to come every day to the beach and watch you work. You won't recognize us, but we all do." So that, of course, made me feel very happy. And that's the impact that we can make with structural engineering. So having said that, that is, I don't mean to show off. I'm just trying to tell you that the kind of work that NIOT has done, it's a teamwork, of course. No one person can do all these projects. So I have a wonderful team. And subsequently, that became so successful, we went ahead and put 2 more plants with ministry money. But then Ministry of Home Affairs gave money now for the rest of the islands. And I think about 9 plants today have the same technology, and they're very, very happy with this. And they're all having drinking water with this technology now. So later, we actually try to scale up. Now, for mainland, the deep water is very far away. So we do need to have capacity building. As I said, going back to infrastructure, we don't have ports with sufficient facilities. We don't have shipyards yet to make deep draft vessels. So we thought by doing this, we can actually make that happen as well, in terms of capacity building for the country. So we made a design for a 10 million liter per day offshore desalination plant, which is on a semi-submersible. It was done by L&T with a lot of hand-holding from us. Now coming to energy, actually we do desalination, but any form of desalination, whether it is the NIOT technology or the standard RO or anything, there's always energy which is required. And again, what is happening is in mitigating the water stress, we are actually making it worse because you are generating again, GHGs because of the fossil fuel energy that you're using. So the way to avoid that is to use renewables to power the desalination systems. Okay, so now the project that is going on currently is an OTEC powered desalination. So we are going back to OTEC now. We have got enough confidence with the pipeline and the infrastructure that we have today in the country. So now what we are doing is we have gone back to Kavrati. We are making the first ever OTEC powered desalination plant in the world, where water will be made by the same process, but we'll also make energy. It will be self-sustained. We are not promising power to the grid. But once it is in operation, it will be diesel-free because the islands run on diesel generators. And here also, from the structural engineering perspective, the challenge is tremendous. We are now having a 4-kilometer pipeline to deal with because we have to draw much colder water from the deep sea. And the first ever open cycle turbine to make the power. In fact, the pipes have reached the island and the turbine is also ready right now. Subsequently, we have the deep ocean mission, which has been pioneered by, our former secretary made it happen and got clearance from the cabinet. It's a very large program. It has got 6 verticals, and 1 vertical is for energy and water. And in this, we are now trying to go offshore. This is very capital intensive, so we have been sanctioned money to be able to put a offshore plant moored in deep waters, where we can make 1 lakh liters per day and 100 kilowatts of power from OTEC. And this will be, again, I want to do it in Kavrati because the deep water is close by. And this will be the first ever prototype level demonstration of OTEC and water on the same platform, so that we can scale up to larger sizes. By doing this, we are actually bringing up, and when we floated the expression of interest for this, Secretary told me, you float an EOI because I really have doubts. He wanted to support me on this, but he wasn't sure whether there will be industries who will come forward. So he said, you float an EOI and you tell me. And I was able to tell him, sir, there are 4 parties who are interested. So now we have floated the tender, and then slowly it's going to, hopefully, this will be the first ever plant. It will be very nice to see this when it happens. This is what it's probably going to be, a SPAR kind of platform. We have done sufficient calculations for that. Again, I say watt to megawatt. Now, this is a small thing that we have developed, and it has suddenly drawn everyone's attention. So, Secretary asked me if we can make something like this, and he said, how much time do you want? I said, I'll do it in 3 months. He said, it's impossible, it's a challenge. But I did it in 2.5 months. It is just a small ionization process. Sea water with a cathode and an anode, and it makes power. It makes sufficient power to even power a mobile charger. And when minister, as you can see, released it, he asked me in Hindi, Delhi mein kya karogi? What will you do in Delhi? You're only talking about the coast, but I don't have power in Delhi also. So this actually started, I started it with the idea that a child in a coastal hut, a fisherman's child, should be able to read at night because there's no power there. But then when he said that, we found out now the proportion of salt and all. So ordinary tap water and the required amount of salt, if you put, the same thing can happen. So this has now been taken by about 10 industries, and it's slowly going to get commercialized in a big way because it can run for 500 hours without, continuously, if you use it continuously. So it doesn't need batteries, it's green. So, it's like a small thing, but a device which is probably going to make a very, very big difference. So that was like what we did in short. And now the second part, where I just like to talk about my kind of growth in as an engineer. So I was the only girl in the civil engineering class of 60. This is an old photograph that you can see. And my classmates were wonderful, and they're still in touch with me. We have a WhatsApp group. So all of us have grown old, and whenever someone says happy birthday to somebody on the group, everyone says, don't tell us, because we're all the same age. So, it's like, it has been a wonderful group, and they're all, support. Why I'm showing you this is support from your male colleagues matters in anything that we do. And I had a wonderful set of classmates who kind of were were with me for any help I needed anytime. So being the only girl did not really, make me miserable or made it difficult. It was a breeze actually. Later in the US, again, I was the only girl who was doing structural engineering, the only Asian female. So that was different as well, but there also I had sufficient support. These are the pictures of my works in all these decades, these 2 decades. So I think I have, either way it goes there only, is it? Okay. So this is at the site. I have sailed, I have gone on boats, I have actually led connections and installations on our own vessels, gone to shipyards and many things like that. Biggest challenge is like being taken seriously. All the men here, you need to take us seriously. And basically you can see that I was taken seriously. We have all the guys always listening to what I do and say, and I got a lot of support. So that is important though, and I'm sure your madam also is getting a lot of support from all of you, and it should continue that way. So that's what helps. The other thing is like, I don't know why this is not working. Yeah, so somebody was talking about the family and things like that, and it is like, I don't know why this does this. Some loose connection. So you need these 3 things in equal measure to be able to, I'm sorry it's gone, but grit and determination, and you need to have family support. I think there's a problem with the battery in this. Family support and then the workplace support. So if all 3 are there, then you can really succeed without any issues. Otherwise it becomes really, really more challenging. And then this is the standard thing which you have on the internet, but this the leaky pipeline, as we call it. And the leaky pipeline, unfortunately, as you go towards, becoming an employee and then, reaching the top, there is a lot of leakage, and there's just a few people who reach the top. And that's why when you ask how many women are there in NIOT, the number is very few yet. So there are some people in admin, but women scientists are still very few in number. But yes, the contact staff, there are many more women coming forth now. But all the women in NIOT do sail. And I'm happy to see that the next generation also goes to field and site. So that is a special thing in NIOT. All the women also go to site and play an equally important role, and the men also support all of us. So in the end, I just want to say that the ocean is a very different place. But as women, or even actually it's applicable to men as well, but we can learn from the ocean a few things. And one is that we need to be calm, but you can be furious when you need. Because if you're not furious, the men are going to override on you. So therefore, we need to be both. We need to have endurance. It is difficult managing home and everything, and in the Indian context, but we need to have that endurance. We need to be very, very resourceful to manage everything. The blessings that I give my nieces when they come, and do namaskar is, may you get a good maid, because that's what you need when you're trying to have a career and do everything. And basically keep the spirit of adventure alive so that you can handle both. Take everything as a challenge, look at things positively, and you'll be able to manage everything. And overall, the whole thing is like, there should be a time when we need not celebrate Women's Day, I mean, we are all equal, and we should celebrate People's Day together in equal numbers. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for your insights that truly added great value. Now I request Dr. S. Vijayalakshmi, Principal Technical Officer, CSIR SERC, to introduce the Chief Guest, Srimati Hema Chandrasekhar, Senior Vice President, Asia Pacific, Regional Chief Technology Officer, Northern Trust Corporation.
Good evening. I deem it a privilege to introduce Srimati Hema Chandrasekharan to this august audience. Hema Chandrasekhar is Senior Vice President and Global Lead for Cyber Security Risk and Compliance Enhancement at Northern Trust Corporation, Chicago. Srimati Hema Chandrasekhar hails from Uttarameru near Kanjipuram and is basically a computer engineer. She is a true technology evangelist backed by more than 30 years of IT experience delivering technology solutions to multinational banks with a global footprint. She passionately drives initiatives around regulatory compliance for banks, software engineering excellence, digital channels, and process engineering. Srimati Hema Chandrasekhar is primarily a banking technologist, having worked in all three domains of business, operations, and technology in the space. She has worked with leading multinational banks like the ANZ, Standard Chartered, Royal Bank of Scotland, and HSBC. She specializes in retail digital channels and operations process automation. Her roles as the retail channels CIO for HSBC and the APAC Regional Chief Technology Officer for Northern Trust have given her immense exposure to banking regulatory affairs. Capitalizing on that expertise, she now leads the execution of global cybersecurity regulatory compliance enhancement for Northern Trust. She has led large operations transformation initiatives in cognitive computing and machine learning through robotics process-based re-engineering and automations. Hema Chandrasekhar has also served on the GCC board for NASSCOM. Being a strong believer of the fact that what cannot be measured cannot be managed, Hema Chandrasekhar has conceptualized metrics-based reporting models for creating a transparent and efficient work environment. We are eagerly looking forward to hear your talk, ma'am.
Good evening, everyone. It indeed is my pleasure to be here and address you all. இது ரொம்ப கஷ்டங்க ஒரு 8th of Marchலேருந்து 10 days celebrations and as we are nearing the end of it, ஒரு last speech கொடுக்குறங்கிறது ஒரு challenge இல்லையா? So I just thought I will take this entire opportunity to talk to you all about accelerating action. எல்லாரும் நிறைய பேசியிருப்பாங்க. நீங்கள் வந்து you had your events, cultural events as well. It was electrifying. Glad to see one of the performers here. And it's very, very encouraging to see an audience that is of all ages. உனக்கு என்னம்மா வயசு? 11 years. 11 yearsலேருந்து கிட்டத்தட்ட ஒரு 55 years வரைக்கும் இங்கே எல்லாமே இருக்கும். And what is more interesting is to see the number of ambassadors that we have in the number of men here who are here to support the cause of women. Before I really get into this topic of accelerating action, I just wanted to check how many of us here are, or whether all of us here are familiar with Tamil and can go with me switching between Tamil and English. Is that fine? Yes, no, yes, no? Ningala okay va? Okay va? Super. Peslama? Edha patti peslam? Accelerating action, right? Accelerating action is a very powerful phrase. இந்த முறை வந்து யூஸ்வலாக விமென்ஸ் டே தீம்ஸ்லாம் பார்த்தீங்கன்னாக்கா ஒவ்வொரு வருஷம் ஒரு தீம் வைப்பாங்க. ஒரு சில தீம்ஸ் எல்லாம் இன்ஃபேக்ட் ஐ ரிமெம்பர் 2019 or something அந்த தீமையே 3 முறை படிக்க வேண்டியிருந்துச்சு. வாட் ஆர் தே ட்ரைங் டு டெல் அஸ் அப்படின்னு. இந்த முறை வந்து தே கெப்ட் இட் வெரி சிம்பிள், ஆக்சலரேட்டிங் ஆக்ஷன். எல்லாரும் வந்து ஆக்சலரேட்டிங் ஆக்ஷன் அப்படின்னா ஓகே யார் வந்து ஆக்ட் பண்ண போகிறாங்க, ஹூ இஸ் கோயிங் டு டூ த ஆக்ஷன், ஹூ இஸ் கோயிங் டு ரியலி பர்ஃபார்ம் த ஆக்டிவிட்டீஸ்னு யோசிப்போம். யார் செய்ய போகிறாங்க நமக்கு? வில் சம்படி பி தேர் டு சப்போர்ட் அஸ், வில் சம்படி பி தேர் டு டேக் அஸ்? யாரும் வரமாட்டாங்கங்க. இன்றைக்கி ஒரு விமெனாக இங்கே எல்லாரும் வந்து படித்து இவ்வளோ தூரம் வேலைக்கு வந்து இவ்வளோ தூரம் வந்து சஸ்டெயின் பண்ணி இங்கே வந்து எல்லோரும் இங்கே இருக்கிறோன்னா men or women, we need a support system. And that support system we have to establish. Nobody will come from outside and support us. So when we say we want to really achieve, we want to become big, we want women to be there, it is very easily said than done. If you leave alone India, in fact, how many of us know that in India we have more women at the board level than in the Fortune 500 companies anchored in the US? How many of us know about it? Mostly anchored in the US, I should say. How many of us know about it? We are one nation that has always been contributing to women. We are one nation that granted our women voting rights right from 1947. Even our rulers, their women could vote only from the 1960s. Yes, no? Yes. So it comes from that pride as well. So if we really want to succeed, we need to accelerate action from 3 aspects. Madam had it all in a beautiful Venn diagram, right? She spoke about us. First of all, we should know about us. ஒரு வேலையை நம்ம நல்லா செய்யணும் அப்படின்னா ஒரு திருக்குறள் இருக்குங்க. ஆனந்தவல்லி, டாக்டர் ஆனந்தவல்லி, pardon me for that. I kind of really like her interest for the language. And there is one திருக்குறள் which talks about இதனை இதனால் இவன் முடிக்கும் என்றாய்ந்து அதனை அவன் கண் விடல், இல்லையா? ஸோ அந்த அவனில் ஒரு அவளையும் போடுவோம். போட்டுட்டு இதனை இதனால் நான் முடிப்பேன் என்றாய்ந்து அதனை என் கண் எடுத்துக்கொள்வேன் அப்படின்னு திங்க் பண்ணணும். ஏன்னா இஃப் வி டோன்ட் நோ வாட் வி ஆர் கேப்பபிள் ஆஃப், we will really not be able to achieve what we really want to do. I'll give you an example. Ma'am just showed us a beautiful slide where they were all men in the batch with her as classmates. She was the only woman. ரொம்ப கஷ்டங்க அப்படிலாம் படிக்கிறது, ரொம்ப கஷ்டம். I don't know how many of you all have been to the NDA campus in Pune. Any of us here who's visited the National Defense Academy campus in Pune? I went there about a couple of years ago, and for the very first time, the National Defense Academy was preparing to invite women. And you know what their biggest challenge was? It was not about getting women onboarded. It was about providing the infrastructure. நம்ம militaryல போனீங்கன்னாக்கா, they kind of start at, the alarm goes at 4:30. Their day starts there. And in between events, they have to be really, really quick. காலைல எழுந்த உடனே ரெடி ஆகணும்னாக்கா, ஒரு 100 people ஒரு பில்டிங்கில் இருக்காங்க அப்படின்னா 100 bathrooms கிடையாது. ஸோ எல்லாரும் ஒன்றா குளிப்பாங்க, எல்லாரும் வந்து ஒன்றா ரெடி ஆவாங்க, ஒன்றா ஓடுவாங்க. ஒரு சிலர் வந்து ஃபீல்டுலேயே அப்படியே ஒரு ஈவெண்ட்லேருந்து அடுத்த ஈவெண்ட்டுக்கு ட்ரெஸ் சேஞ்ச் பண்ணிட்டு போவாங்க. அந்த மாதிரியெல்லாம் கேம்பஸ் இருக்குது. விமென் அப்படின்னு உள்ளே வரும்போது they have to make a lot of changes. Those infrastructure changes, those thoughts, இங்கே ஒரு உமன் இருந்தால் என்ன பண்ணுவாங்க? So I got a chance to speak to the chairman and national commandant னு சொல்லுவோம் இல்லைங்களா? I got a chance to meet the commandant and he was talking to, நான் வந்து சைபர் செக்யூரிட்டி பற்றி இன்டர்வியூ பண்ணலாம் அவர்கிட்ட கேட்கலான்னு சொல்லி போனால், அவர் வந்து எனக்கு what it takes to welcome women into the NDA அப்படின்றத பற்றி ஒரு கிளாஸ் எடுத்தார். It's a very different world when you have to have women, and being that single woman in a batch of all men is not easy. Even the events that they would plan as college students would be very, very different. So for all those challenges, if we don't face, it will be very difficult for us to, எல்லாமே சேலஞ்சிலேருந்து தான் ஆரம்பிக்குது. எவ்வளோ பேருக்கு இங்கே அஹில்யாபாய் ஹோல்கர் பற்றி தெரியும்? அஹில்யாபாய் ஹோல்கர் தெரிஞ்சவங்க யாராவது இருக்கீங்களா? இல்லை. ஜான்சி ராணி யாருக்கு தெரியும்? ஜான்சி ராணியை பற்றி நிறைய பேருக்கு தெரியாதா? ப்ளீஸ் புட் யுவர் ஹேண்ட்ஸ் அப். சூப்பர். வேலு நாச்சியார் பற்றி யாருக்கு தெரியும்? வீரமங்கை வேலு நாச்சியார். வீரமங்கை வேலு நாச்சியாரோட ஸ்டோரி எடுத்திங்கன்னா வெரி, வெரி இம்ப்ரெசிவ். அவங்களுக்கு அவங்க அப்பா வந்து உருது கூட கற்றுக் கொடுத்தார். And when she was in a challenging situation, அவங்க ஒரு சேலஞ்சை ஃபேஸ் பண்ணோன்னு வரும்போது அவங்க கற்றுக்கிட்ட அந்த உருது தான் அவங்களுக்கு ஹெல்ப் பண்ணுச்சு. ஏன்னா அவங்களுக்கு ஹெல்ப் பண்ணது யார் தெரியுங்களா? ஹைதர் அலி. ஹைதர் அலியோடு உட்காந்து நம்ம வீரமங்கை வேலு நாச்சியார் பேச்சுவார்த்தை நடத்தி நெகோஷியேட் பண்ணி செஞ்சி ஃபோர்ட்டை வந்து அவங்களுக்கு வாங்கி அங்கே தான் ஷி பில்ட் ஹர் ஆர்மி டு கோ பேக் அண்ட் டிஃபீட் த பிரிட்டிஷ் அண்ட் கெயின் ஹர் கிங்டம் பேக். அதுக்கப்புறமா her daughter ruled and that family went on to rule that kingdom for எவ்வளோ நாள் தெரியுமா? அட்லீஸ்ட் for the next 30 years. And then came our மருது பாண்டியர், the brothers that we know of. லெகசி, ஒரு லெகசியை பில்ட் பண்ணோன்னா முதல் நாம் படிக்கணும். நமக்கு என்ன ஸ்ட்ரென்த்து, நமக்கு என்ன வேணும் வாழ்க்கையில், நாம் யார் அப்படின்னு தெரியணும். we should all know our roots. I'm going to share ஒரு you have to pardon me for switching English and Tamil because I want to speak in Tamil, but I've been tuned to think in English, so English நிறைய வரும். Please bear with me. எப்போவுமே நாம் எதில் வந்து ஜெயிக்கணும்னு நினைக்கிறோமோ அதில் நாம் நிறையவே ஃபோக்கஸ் பண்ண வேண்டி வருது. நாம் ஜெயிக்கணும்னா நமக்கு நம்ம ஸ்ட்ரெங்க்ஸ் தெரியணும். ஒரு சின்ன பொண்ணோட பேசிகிட்டு இருந்தேன். அவளுக்கு கல்யாணம் ஆகிட்டு ஒரு 6-7 இயர்ஸ் ஆச்சு, குழந்தை இல்லை. நிறைய பேர் வந்து குழந்தை இல்லைன்னு அவங்க அம்மாவே ஸ்ட்ரெஸ் ஆகிட்டு இருந்தாங்க. ஸோ ஷி செட் ஆல் ஆஃப் அ சடன் திடீர்னு மீட் பண்ணப்போ, சித்தி நான் வந்து லா படிக்கிறேன் அப்படின்னா. எதுக்குடி லா படிக்கிற? கடவுள் முதல் நமக்கு என்ன கொடுத்துருக்குறாருன்னு பார்க்குறோம் சித்தி. கடவுள் எனக்கு நல்லா வாயை கொடுத்துருக்குறார். பேசுகிற மாதிரி என்ன வேலை இருக்குதுன்னு பார்த்தேன். லா வந்துச்சு. I am now doing law. She is a practicing criminal lawyer today. Where were the days where she was at home when even her mother was torturing her for a child? And where's the day today when her mother is sitting in the court watching her argue in the courts of law in India? நமக்கு நாம் யாருன்னு தெரியணும், நம்மளோட ஸ்ட்ரெங்க்ஸ் என்னன்னு தெரியணும். அதுக்கு நிறைய டூல்ஸ் இருக்குங்க. இப்போ வந்து ஒஃபிஷியலாக பார்த்தீங்கன்னாக்கா கார்ட்னரோட ஸ்ட்ரெங்க்ஸ் ஃபைண்டர் டூல் இருக்குது. அப்படி இல்லைன்னா நாமே உட்காந்து நாம் யாருங்கிறத அறியணும். முதல்ல நாம் எங்கேருந்து வரோம், நாம் யார், நம்ம பரம்பரை என்ன. எனக்கு வந்து சின்ன வயசில் நான் வளர்ந்ததெல்லாம் உத்திரமேரூரில். எனக்கு வந்து வளர்த்ததெல்லாம் பாட்டி தான். எனக்கு அவங்க தான் உயிர், எல்லாமே அவங்க தான். எது வந்தாலும் she used to give me small hints. As long as she was with us, I did not realize the value of what she was telling me. But when she passed away and when I really introspected on who she was, where she came from, what she did, I realized that she was an entrepreneur. She would earn, those days, sitting in a village like Uttaramerur, she used to earn at least 500 rupees a month with all the resources that were there at home. எல்லாம் கஷ்டமே கிடையாது. என்ன பண்ணாங்க, அவங்க ரிசோர்ஸஸ், அவங்க பிள்ளைங்க 6 பிள்ளைங்க அவங்களுக்கு. ஷி யூட்டிலைஸ்ட் ஹர் சில்ட்ரன் அண்ட் அ ஸ்மால் வெஜிடபிள் கார்டன். அதை வச்சு ஷி ஸ்டார்டட் ஏர்னிங். யாராலையும் கேள்வியே கேட்க முடியாது. நாமெல்லாம் ரொம்ப கன்ஸ்ட்ரெயின்ட் என்வாயன்மெண்ட்னு நினைக்கிறோம். வீட்டை விட்டு வெளியில் போகாமல் அந்த காலத்தில் ஓரமாக ஒரு வில்லேஜில் உட்காந்துக்கிட்டு ஒரு உமனால் 500 ரூபா சம்பாதிக்க முடிஞ்சதுங்க. 500 ரூபாய்க்கு மேலே ஒரு மாதம். யார்கிட்டையும் போயிட்டு எனக்கு சேலை வாங்கி கொடுங்க கூட கேட்க மாட்டாங்க. அவங்க வேலையை அவங்களே பார்ப்பாங்க. இந்த மாதிரி உங்கள் ஒத்தொத்தரையும் சுற்றி கண்டிப்பாக உங்களுக்கு ஒரு ஐகான் இருப்பாங்க. திங்க் வென் யூ see people, see beyond them, see behind them. இட்ஸ் வெரி வெரி இம்பார்ட்டண்ட். அந்த மாதிரி பார்க்கும்போது ஒவ்வொருத்தர்கிட்ட இருந்தும் ஒரு லெசன் எடுக்கலாம். இட்ஸ் வெரி வெரி இம்பார்ட்டண்ட். நம்ம வந்து நிறைய பேரை பார்க்கும்போது இவங்க நல்லவங்களா கெட்டவங்களான்னு பார்ப்போம். டோன்ட் see that. ஒவ்வொருத்தர்கிட்ட இருந்தும் நாம் கற்றுக்க வேண்டிய விஷயங்கள் பல இருக்குது. ஒரு பெண்ணாக நாம் அதை கற்றுக்கிட்டோன்னா, as Dr. Anandavali pointed out, even our mothers, the way they cook, the way they manage the kitchen, the way they do their things, it's very difficult for us to even replicate that. எத்தனை பேரால் அந்த மாதிரி செய்ய முடியும்? நிறைய பேர் செய்கிறோம். ஆனால் ஒரு ரோல் மாடல் வச்சு நாம் அவங்கள ஃபாலோ பண்ணும்போது நமக்கே நம்ம வழி தெரியும். So it's very very important that we understand our strengths, very first thing. Second thing, your support system. We all kind of battle between what we call as work-life balance. And my advice to everybody is, work வேற life வேற கிடையாதுங்க. It's one life that we all live. And it's very, very important that we balance it the way we want. I was unemployed actually. We finished the degree. I was unemployed. My father said, you're not going to work. My father didn't allow me to work. They got me married. Then my mother-in-law said, I'm aging, so will be good if you have a child. Fantastic, done. Then I started working 5 years after I finished college. After graduation for 5 years. I kept upgrading myself, but I wasn't in a full-time job. From there, I had to work my way forward. What really helped me was my support system. I ensured that both my parents, my in-laws, my sister-in-laws, everybody was there to support my children. That really helped me because however late it used to take, those days the flexibility of virtual working or remote working as we call it, the flexibility of technology to be able to connect from your home and do the work, the flexibility of being able to monitor, place a CCTV and monitor what your children are doing was not there for us. So it was all hard work. That support system that you establish is very, very crucial. And opportunities, when they strike you, you have to really strike it out between whether you want to have it as a family or whether you want to have a career. You can't have both. You can never have everything you can have everything in life, but not all at the same time. So you will have to prioritize. never ever use the phrase work-life balance, because nobody will be there to balance. It's one life, it's our life. We have to balance it. Choose. But once you make the choice, ஒரு முறை choose பண்ணிட்டீங்கனாக்கா, go with it. Like how ma'am said, I had a very interesting experience. How many of you all have heard of Scope International in Chennai? Scope International IT, anybody that's familiar with that IT organization in Chennai? Happy to see a couple of hands. I'm the #1 employee of Scope International. It wasn't an easy decision. It's a part of Standard Chartered Bank. It's an operations and technology wing of Standard Chartered Bank here in India. I joined that organization. Organization கிடையாதப்போ என் ஃபைலை நானே போட்டேன்னா பார்த்துக்கோங்க அந்த அளவுக்கு. The very first project was in Africa. So they took us all to a place called Reading near London. We were trained, and when we had to come back, the very first project was in Africa, Uganda. Even many men said they can't make it. And they were not considering women for that project to go to Uganda and implement an application. It was very difficult to convince. முதல் பிரச்சனை என்னோட மேனேஜரை கன்வின்ஸ் பண்ணுறது. நான் போகிறேன், நான் செய்கிறேன், என்னை அனுப்புங்கன்னு சொல்லி கேட்குறதுக்கே 3 days they took. And finally, UKல போய் அப்ரூவல் வாங்கி they sent me to Uganda. This was in the early 2000s. So you know, right? People were a little kind of scared. அதுக்கப்புறமா I lived in Africa for 4 years. ஆனால் அந்த 4 yearsம் மெகா சாக்ரிஃபைஸ். என் பையனுக்கு வந்து அப்போது 7 வயசு. 7 வயசில் விட்டு போன பிள்ளையை நான் திரும்ப வரும்போது 11 வயசு. He was almost used to a life without me. அதுக்கப்புறத்துலேருந்து I had to walk into his life. என்னோட பையன்தான், ஆனால் I had to walk into his life. That was a very tough phase. ஆனால் அந்த ஃபேஸில் வந்து ஐயோ அப்படின்னு நினச்சோம் வச்சுக்கோங்களேன், நம்மளை யாருமே காப்பாற்ற முடியாது. அந்த கஷ்டம் வரும்போது தான் நாம் வந்து துணிஞ்சு நிற்கணும். அந்த துணிவு தான் ஒவ்வொரு பெண்மணியையும் மாற்றி அமைக்கிறது. இன்றைக்கும் வரலாறு படிச்சிங்கனாக்கா அந்த துணிவு, அந்த துன்பம் வரும் வேலையிலே சிரிங்க இல்லையா, அது சிரிக்கிறோம் இல்லை, அந்த டைமில் அதாவது கான்ஃபிடெண்ட்டாக இருந்து மூளையை உபயோகித்து நான் என்ன பண்ணணும் அப்படின்னு யோசித்து பண்ணோன்னா எல்லாமே நடக்கும். அந்த ஒரு கான்ஃபிடென்ஸ் இருக்கணும். நிறைய பேர் வந்து சொல்லுவாங்க பெண்களுக்கு வந்து தைரியம் கிடையாது, கான்ஃபிடென்ஸ் கிடையாதுங்க. பெண்களுக்கு தைரியம் ஜாஸ்தி, கான்ஃபிடென்ஸும் ஜாஸ்தி. ஆனால் நாம் அதை வந்து வெளியில் காட்டிக்கிறது இல்லை. எத்தனை சேலஞ்சஸை ஃபேஸ் பண்ணியிருப்பாங்க, எவ்வளோ விமன் ஃபேஸ் பண்ணியிருப்பாங்க, எப்படியெல்லாம் முன்னுக்கு வந்திருக்கோம். எத்தனை பேர் வந்து ஒரு குடும்பத்தில் ஒரு தகப்பனார் இல்லைன்னா ஒரு அம்மாவால் குடும்பத்தில் 3 குழந்தைங்க 4 குழந்தைங்க இருந்தாலும் அந்த காலத்தில் வளர்க்க முடியும். ஆனால் ஒரு தகப்பன் வந்து எத்தனையோ நேரத்தில் வந்து ஸ்ட்ரகிள் பண்ணுவாங்க. எங்கள் அப்பாவை வந்து ஒரு ஃப்ரீக்கி ஆக்சிடெண்ட்டில் வி லாஸ்ட் ஹிம். அப்போ எனக்கு I was 29 years old then. I was crying. அம்மா வந்து she held my hand and she said, நான் தான் முதல்ல விழுந்தேன், ஆனால் நான் வந்து உருண்டு வந்துட்டேன். அப்பா வந்து பல்கியாக ஹெவியாக இருப்பாங்க. அப்பாவால் வந்து he could not bounce back and he died in that accident. And அம்மா said, நான் வந்து ரொம்ப கஷ்டம்தான் அப்பா போனது. He was hardly 60 at that point in time. ஆனால் நான் போய் அப்பா இருந்திருந்தாங்கன்னா ரொம்ப கஷ்டப்பட்டிருப்பாங்க. அப்பா போய் நான் இருக்கிறேன்னா என்னால் உங்களை சப்போர்ட். தட் வாஸ் த ஃபர்ஸ்ட் டைம். அந்த பர்சனலாக நமக்கே நடக்கும்போது தான் நம்ம ரியலைஸ் பண்ணுவோம் இல்லைங்களா. அதை ரியலைஸ் பண்ணப்போ தான் தெரிஞ்சது எவ்வளவு முக்கியம் அது அப்படின்னு. ஒரு பெண்ணாக எல்லாரையும் சப்போர்ட் பண்ணணும். எப்போவுமே பாசிட்டிவாக இருங்க. பாசிட்டிவாக இருந்தாலே ஒரு தனி அழகுங்க. அந்த முகத்துக்கு வந்து அகத்தின் அழகு முகத்தில் தெரியும்னு சொல்லுவாங்க இல்லைங்களா. அது எப்படி தெரியுது? உள்ளே வந்து சந்தோஷம் இருந்தால், உள்ளே அந்த கான்ஃபிடென்ஸ் இருந்தால், உள்ளே அந்த ஒரு துணிவு இருந்தால் அது நம்ம முகத்தில் தன்னால் தெரியும். நெவர் அலவ் எனி கைண்ட் ஆஃப் அ நெகட்டிவ் இம்பேக்ட் டு ரியலி கைண்ட் ஆஃப் டேக் யூ பேக். இந்த 3 விஷயங்க நாம் வந்து பார்த்து பண்ணோம்னா, முதல்ல நம்மோட ரூட்ஸ் தெரியறது, நாம் யார், எங்கேருந்து வரோம், எப்படிப்பட்டவங்க அப்படின்னு தெரியறது. 2வது நம்முடைய சப்போர்ட் சிஸ்டமை நல்லபடியாக வச்சுக்கிறது. 3வது நம்மோட ஸ்ட்ரெங்ஸை தெரிஞ்சு ப்ளே பண்ணுறது. இந்த 3 விஷயத்தையும் ஏஜ் டஸ் நாட் மேட்டர். ஏஜ் டஸ் நாட் மேட்டர் அட் ஆல். இவ்வளோ வருஷங்களுக்கு அப்புறமா போன வாரம் நான் வந்து ஒரு விழாவில் கலந்துட்டு இருந்தேன். அங்கே வந்த ஒருத்தரோட பேசிகிட்டு இருக்கும்போது, நீங்கள் யார் அப்படின்னு கேட்டார். நான் சொன்னேன் we are this அப்படின்னு. ஓ அப்படியா, கலிய நாயனார் 63 நாயன்மார் பற்றி எவ்வளோ பேர் கேள்விப்பட்டிருக்கீங்க தெரியுமா? வெரி நைஸ். கலிய நாயனார் வந்து உங்கள் வழிதாம்மா. அப்புறம் தான் ரிலேட் பண்ணேன். எங்கள் ரிலேட்டிவில் ஒருத்தர் ஒரு 2 தலைமுறைக்கு முன்னாடி திருவொற்றியூர் கோவில் போனீங்கன்னாக்கா மூலவர் சன்னதியில் கலிய நாயனாருக்கு தனியாக ஒரு கோயில் இருக்கும். அதை கட்டினவர் எங்களோட ஆன்செஸ்டர், எனக்கு தெரிஞ்சது ஒரு 2 ஜெனரேஷன் முன்னாடி. ஏன் கலிய நாயனாருக்கு கட்டினாங்க 63 இப்போ வரைக்கும் வந்து நான் யோசித்ததே இல்லை. ஆனால் அந்த ரிலேஷன்ஷிப் சொல்லும்போது தான் தெரிஞ்சது அவங்க ஏன் அவருக்கு கட்டினாங்க அப்படின்னு. ஸோ அந்த மாதிரி உங்கள் ஃபேமிலியில் ஏதாவது ஒரு லிங்க் இருக்கும், ஏதாவது ஒன்று நடந்திருக்கும். ஏன் நடக்குது, எதுக்கு நடக்குது, ரூட்ஸை விடாமல் பற்றிக்கோங்க. உங்களால் என்ன முடியும், என்னோட ஸ்ட்ரென்த் என்ன, நான் எதில் ஸ்ட்ராங் அப்படின்னு தெரிஞ்சுக்கோங்க. அதுக்கப்புறமா நல்ல சப்போர்ட் சிஸ்டம் ஏற்படுத்திக்கோங்க. தட் இஸ் ஆக்சுவலி ஆக்சிலரேட்டிங் ஆக்ஷன். அது இருந்தாக்கா ஆல் ஆர் மென் ஆகட்டும் விமென் ஆகட்டும் யாராக இருந்தாலும் நல்லபடியாக முன்னுக்கு வரலாம். நல்லபடியாக நமக்கு நாமே அந்த தெம்போடு முன்னுக்கு வரும்போது என்னை பொறுத்த மட்டும் என்னோட அட்வைஸ், தெர் ஆர் நோ பேரியர்ஸ் இருக்கும், யாருக்கு தான் இல்லை. ஆஸ் விமென் வி திங்க் தெர் ஆர் மோர் பேரியர்ஸ் ஃபார் அஸ். கிடையாதுங்க, எல்லாருக்குமே வாழ்க்கையில் ஹேர்டில்ஸ் இருக்குது, எல்லாருக்குமே தடங்கள் இருக்குது. நாம் வந்து அதை துணிஞ்சு எதிர்த்து நின்னோன்னாக்கா நாமளும் வந்து மென் தான். மென் வந்து அதே மாதிரி விமெனையும் வந்து ஈக்குவலாக ட்ரீட் பண்ணி வரும்போது ஒரே சமூகம் ஒன்றா வாழ்வோம். அடுத்த முறை இங்கே இன்டர்நேஷ்னல் மென்ஸ் டேக்கு வந்து பேசணும் நான். That is one piece of work that I almost spearheaded in IT. Before many of the IT companies could embrace it, I embraced it. ஏன்னா என்னை பொறுத்த மட்டும் equality matters. We just can't speak about all women. There are men as well who go through challenges. ஒரு சொசைட்டியில் ஆண்கள் ஃபேஸ் பண்ணுற பிரச்சனைகள் மிக மிக அதிகம். ஒரு தகப்பனா, ஒரு பிள்ளையா, ஏன் ஒரு மாமியார் மருமக நடுவில் மாட்டியிருக்க ஒரு ஆணை பற்றி நினச்சி பாருங்கள் யாராவது. லைஃப் இஸ் நாட் ஈஸிங்க, நாம் நினைக்கிறோம். ஆனால் நாம் வந்து அதே ஒரு பார்ட்னர்ஷிப் ஆகி நம்மோட ஸ்பௌஸோட ஒரு பார்ட்னர்ஷிப் பேசிஸில் ஒர்க் பண்ணி பண்ணோன்னா ட்ரஸ்ட்டுங்க. ட்ரா த லைன் ஆஃப் ட்ரஸ்ட். இந்த காலத்தில் எங்கள் ஹஸ்பண்ட் ஒரு லாயர், ஸோ அதனால் இங்கே மெட்ராஸ் ஹைகோர்ட்டில் நிறைய லிங்க்ஸ் இருக்குது. பேசிகிட்டு இருக்கும்போது ஒரு லாயர் சார், வாட்ஸ் கீப்பிங் யூ பிஸி சார் அப்படின்னு கேட்டேன். டைவர்ஸ் கேசஸ் மேடம் அப்படின்னாரு. The number of divorce cases in Chennai have gone up by 18% or என்னவோ சொன்னார் over the past 2 years. I don't know the numbers, I didn't get it from him, but 18% is a big jump. 20% is 1/5. பெரிய நம்பர். And my only humble request is, draw the line of trust. I'm seeing people of all ages here. அந்த ட்ரஸ்ட்ன்ற லைனை ட்ரா பண்ணோன்னாலே வாழ்க்கையில் நிறைய பிரச்சனைகள் சால்வ் ஆகிடுங்க. எங்கள் அம்மா சொல்லுவாங்க, அப்பா அதாவது சண்டை வந்தால் கூட கொஞ்சம் இருங்க சாப்பிட்டு வந்து சண்டை போடுறேன் அப்படின்வாங்க. பாயிண்ட்டுங்க அது. சும்மா உட்காந்துக்கிட்டு நான் சாப்பிட மாட்டேன், நான் பேச மாட்டேன், அதெல்லாம் கிடையாது. ஆனால் அஞ்சாவது நிமிஷம் பேசிடுவாங்க. அதே பாலிசி தான் எனக்கும். அதே மாதிரி காசு கையில் தொடமாட்டேன் நான். எவ்வளவு எனக்கு ஆனஸ்ட்டாக சொல்லணும்னா எனக்கு எவ்வளோ சேலரி வருதுன்னு எனக்கு தெரியாது. என்னை பொறுத்த மட்டும் ஐ ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஐ ட்ரஸ்டட் மை ஹஸ்பண்ட். பார்த்தேன் அவங்க எங்கே ஸ்பெண்ட் பண்ணுறாங்க, எப்படி இன்வெஸ்ட் பண்ணுறாங்க, அவங்களோட சேர்ந்து உட்காந்து கொஞ்சம் கைடன்ஸ். he is a cost accountant and he is also a lawyer, so you can kind of take it. அவங்க வந்து பார்த்து செய்கிறத பார்த்து நமக்கு வேண்டாது அப்படின்னு வெளில வந்தாச்சு. வாட் எவர் வி கேன் டூ, ஒரு ஹேண்ட்ஃபுல் ஆஃப் வாட் எவர் வி கேன் மேனேஜ் அது வரைக்கும் எடுத்துக்கோங்க. எல்லாத்தையும் நாம் செய்யணும்னு நினைக்கிறோம் பார்த்தீங்களா, அங்கே தான் பிரச்சனைகள் வருது. அந்த டெலிகேஷன், அவங்க எதில் ஸ்ட்ராங்கோ allow them to play to their strengths. நாம் எதில் ஸ்ட்ராங்கோ let's play to our strengths. That way family is balanced, confusion is lesser, delegation is better any day. And the trust equation also works better. And on that note, I will end my speech here. Best of luck and looking forward to the International Men's Day celebrations next time. Thank you very much. Thanks for the opportunity, Dr. Anandavalli, and best wishes, CSIR.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for the captivating speech. May I request Dr. N. Anandavali, Director CSIR SERC and Coordinating Director CMC, to present a memento to the Chief Guest, Dr. Purnima Jalihal, Scientist G, Head of Energy and Freshwater Group, National Institute of Ocean Technology. May I request Dr. N. Anandavali, Director CSIR SERC and Coordinating Director CMC, to present a memento to the Chief Guest, Srimati Hema Chandrasekhar, Senior Vice President, Asia Pacific Regional Chief Technology Officer, Northern Trust Corporation. Thank you, ma'am. Next, we will move on to the prize distribution session for the group games and the Rangoli events that were conducted on the occasion of International Women's Day celebration. Prize winners will be presented by Dr. C. Bharati Priya, Principal Scientist, CSIR SERC.
Thank you, ma'am. Before we move on to the group game prizes, we would like to felicitate all the cultural event participants. And I would like to call upon the name of the participants who performed for today. Ms. Porkudi. Ms. Sridevi. Ms. Megha. The group dance performers, Ms. Adira, if you can come together, please. Ms. Adira, Ms. Harshini, Ms. Nandini, Ms. Nidha Fatima, Ms. Yuvashri, Ms. Vaidehi, Ms. Susan, Ms. Levita, Ms. Anahas Sajad, Ms. Anaha Suresh, Ms. Chaitra Rajiv, and Ms. Christy Tom. You can stand for the group photo. Just wait here for a group photo. After you collect your memento, just wait here for group photo, please. Girls, you can arrange in the front also so that all of you will be visible in the photo. The next team, Ms. Nashima, Ms. Nishma, Ms. Thara, Ms. Shreya, Ms. Shilpa, Ms. Pavitra, and Ms. Ramya. You can come. Come. Next, we'll move on to the prize winners of the group games. I request all the members of the teams to come together. The first prize is won by Ms. Sarasu, Ms. Jayalakshmi, Ms. Jayanti, Ms. Chandra, Ms. Padmavati, Ms. Kannagi, Ms. Logapriya, Ms. Sridevi, Ms. Priyadarshini, and Ms. Annama. I request Team 8, who won the first prize, to come on to the dais to collect their prizes. The second prize is won by Team 11. I request team members of Team 11, Ms. Priyadarshini, Ms. Kirtika, Ms. Jayanti, Ms. Rajalakshmi, Ms. Deepa, Ms. Renji Mary, Ms. Priya, Ms. Ashwini again, and Ms. Utraja. Thank you. I request the team 11, which won the second prize, to come to the stage to collect their prize. Yeah, you can go. The third prize is won by Team 2, consisting of The third prize is won by Team 2, consisting of Ms. Jagadaprabha, Ms. Muthu Ammal, Ms. Padmini, Ms. Deepa, Ms. Muniammal, Ms. Harshini, Ms. Savita Shri, Ms. Sangeeta Priya, Ms. Lata, and Ms. Vaishali. I request the team members to gather here. Big round of applause for the winners, please. In the group game events, there are 2 consolation prizes, one by Team 5 and Team 12. I now call upon Team 5 members, Ms. Yuvashri, Ms. Nida Fatima, Ms. Susan Teji, Ms. Bhuvaneshwari, Ms. Annapurni, Ms. Kanyamal, Ms. Pushpalata, Ms. Mansi, Ms. Darshini, and Ms. Shanmugapriya. Please make way to the dais. The next team, Team 12, Ms. Anna Rose, Ms. Malvika, Ms. Harshana, Ms. Aishwarya, Ms. Nimisha Rajagopal, Ms. Arati, Ms. Suhaila, Ms. Renuka, Ms. Valli, and Ms. Sarala. If you can make way to the dais, please. So after they come, come up and wait. Exit to that side. Exit to that side. And the pakku. Yeah, come. Thank you, audience, for the applause. The next category is Color Me Empowered Rangoli event. In that first general category, the first prize is won by team consisting of Ms. Savita Shri, Ms. Selva Jyoti, Ms. Janani, Ms. Jayashri and Ms. Gandhimati. I request the team members to come and collect the prizes. The first prize in the Rangoli event in the general category. The second prize is won by Ms. Premalata, Ms. Dhanushya, Ms. Priyadarshini and Ms. Darshini. If you can make way to the stage, please. Big round of applause for the second prize winners. The third prize is won by Ms. Manjula, Ms. Selvi, Ms. Latha, Ms. Ramya and Ms. Jaya. There is a consolation prize in this category. Big round of applause for the third prize winners, please. The consolation prize goes to the team consisting of Ms. Sudha Nair, Ms. Asha Nair, Ms. Kalaivani, Ms. Bhuvaneshwari, Ms. Deepa and Ms. Annama. In the next category, which is the theme-based category, we have the first prize won by Ms. Levetha, Ms. Harshini, Ms. Vaidehi, Ms. Christy Tom, Ms. Navya and Ms. Chandra. Please make way to the stage. Big round of applause for the first prize winners. The second prize goes to Ms. Nandini, Ms. Darshini, Ms. Avantika, Ms. Priya, Ms. Jayanti and Ms. Guna. I request the team members to make way to the stage, please. The team members of the second prize winners. Big round of applause for the second prize winners, please. The third prize goes to Ms. Neha, Ms. Maheta, Ms. Durga, Ms. Kirtana, Ms. Priyadarshini, and Ms. Kritika. In the theme-based category, there are two consolation prizes. The first consolation prize goes to the team consisting of Ms. Renji Mary Prince, Ms. Priya, Ms. Ashwini, Ms. Vimala, Ms. Bhuvaneshwari, and Ms. Kavita. A big round of applause for the final team for the consolation prize, consisting of Ms. Jayashri, Ms. Navmata, Ms. Pavitra, Ms. Ramya, Ms. Aparna, and Ms. Muthulakshmi, Muthuselvi. A big round of applause. and the final team coming to the stage, ma'am. On behalf of the organizers, I thank all the participants and a big congratulations to the winners. I also thank our director and our chief guests for graciously presenting the winners with their prizes. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Now I call upon Dr. A. Mersilata, Principal Scientist, CSIR Series, CMC, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Good afternoon to one and all gathered here. On behalf of the International Women's Day 2025 Organizing Committee, I would like to extend a heartfelt vote of thanks to all those who have contributed in making this event a grand success. First and foremost, we are extremely thankful to our chief guest, Dr. Purnima Jalihal, who has accepted our invitation in spite of her busy schedule and has graced this occasion. Thank you, ma'am. I would like to express our thanks to another chief guest, Srimati Hema Chandrasekhar, for gracing this function. Her lecture was very inspirational and motivational. Thanks to ma'am, due to some commitment she had to leave early. I'd like to express our gratitude to our director, Dr. N. Anandavalli ma'am, and our advisor management, Dr. Parivellal, for their continuous guidance and support throughout this event. We would also like to take a moment to express our sincere thanks to the IWD committee chairman, Dr. Kamachi, and other committee members. Without your hard work, planning, and dedication, we would have not been able to put this event together. You've all worked tirelessly behind the scenes, and we are truly grateful for all. A big thanks to all the subcommittee members who have voluntarily and proactively extended their support and made this event a grand success. Next, I would like to express a sincere appreciation to the cultural program organizers and the talented performance. The cultural performances were truly outstanding and brought so much of energy and joy to this event. I would like to extend our thanks to our male colleagues who have supported and have extended their continuous guidance for this event. Special thanks to Mr. Vasudevan, who has been instrumental in supporting us for all the purchase of the prizes and mementos. A special mention of thanks for Mr. Nagasamy and Mr. Ravi Kumar for their wonderful food arrangements which we had today. Our heartfelt thanks to the ICT, BKMD, admin, purchase, accounts, housekeeping, and horticulture team for ensuring that this event ran smoothly. Lastly, by no means least, I want to thank each and everyone who is present here and gracing this occasion and making this event a grand success. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you. Kindly rise for the national anthem. Once again, thank you to one and all.